This is the Newark mayor who's now suing Alina Habba, claiming malicious prosecution. This just breaking, and I'm telling you, I know exactly what Alina is going to say. But here, I'll share with you what she wrote on X on Monday night. She had already been dismissive of any anticipated legal action. She wrote, "My advice to the mayor is feel free to join me in prioritizing violent crime and public safety. Far better use of your time for the great citizens of New Jersey." So he's saying he was unfairly targeted there. They did actually let him go, apparently because he showed some remorse when he came into her, unlike the other one, La Monica. I love saying that, right? La Monica, who's just, wants a good fight and suddenly sees herself as maybe rising up in the Democrat Party because she's getting some national attention. Oddly, there are members of the media that support this. It's really kind of bizarre. I mean, you'd think somebody would say, hey, you were trespassing. You weren't supposed to be there. You didn't have an appointment. Why did you think you could just barge on in into federal property? Again, back to the Constitution. Guess who has the jurisdiction all day long? Forever on that one, it's the feds, okay? Supremacy Clause, the Commerce Clause, Naturalization Clause. This is the feds. It's why it was so frustrating in Texas. Remember when Governor Abbott was trying to put back the wall that the Biden administration was taking down, and Mayorkas was like, no, it's coming down, and Abbott's like, but we're Texas. Like, you can't just have everybody swarm into Texas and make us have to deal with it. And they're like, oh yeah, we can. I mean, that was atrocious. But again, it was the federal government that had the jurisdiction. And so there was not a lot of wiggle room. AOC, meanwhile, you know her. She's been coming out saying, don't you dare go after my Newark mayor or my La Monica or this, that, or the other. She had a warning for Homan.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
Oh. Tough lady, right? Don't want to get into a fist fight, bar fight with her. Maybe she has experience. Anyway, Tom Homan, he can take it on. He's the one guy that totally can take it on, and he already has. I mean, this is a couple of years ago. This is like the moment. I love this exchange between Tom Homan and AOC. She is so out of her element, totally out, and he is the adult in the room.
For this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his
Mr. Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Gosh, he's good, right? He's really, really good. You know who else is making this suddenly clear? The Supreme Court has just voted the 532,000 people that were allowed into this country by the Biden administration on this parole program where they were handing out these work visas left and right. Guess what, guys? They're done. Now the Trump administration has the authority to, guess what? Send them all home and packing. We're going to get to more on that, including the defunding and sanctuary cities. But first, we're fully independent here on the Trish Regan Show. So we love our sponsors, including these folks over at Balance of Nature, because this is how I get my vitamin D and vitamin C and iron and all that other great stuff. But, for me, actually, it's like a vitamin D thing because I don't see as much sun as I should. So I get it thanks to my fruits and and veggies that I take every morning, gummies from Balance in Nature. You can get these too, 35% off actually with code word Trish, Trish. Call them at 1-800-246-8751, 1-800-246-8751, or go to balanceinnature.com. You can read all about the testimonials because I'm not the only one who loves them. They taste really good. They have none of those bad things in them. And by the way, they're gluten-free as well for those of you that care. So take your vitamins, right? Important stuff to do. Make sure everyone in your family takes their vitamins. And there's other things on there. Like you don't have to take the basic gummies that I take, but I do like my fruits and veggies, and I know that I get everything I need. Well, hopefully, right? Every day. I try to eat a balanced diet too, and I drink a lot of water and I get my exercise. So it's all part of the whole package. You can't do one without the other. So eat well, take your vitamins, drink water, and exercise. Simple enough. Again, the SCOTUS decision, Supreme Court of the United States announcing that guess what? Donald Trump can end that migrant parole program for people from the likes of Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Haiti, all these places coming into the country and being doled out work visas. And it's like, why were they doing this really? Was it gerrymandering? Did they just want to like make sure that they had enough people in a certain district so that they could get an additional congressperson? What do you guys think? I'm curious. Let me look at the chat, see what your perspective is on that. I think it had actually a lot to do with a few things. And you know what? If you're not going to play by the rules, AOC, Letitia James, Newark, New Jersey, then you know what? We don't have to give you money, right? And the feds can cut you off. And that's exactly what they're doing. We already saw that going down in New York. Letitia's flipping out. She's filed 100 lawsuits already. She's very proud of that. It's her entire political career. It's actually going to be the death of her eventually political career. She's going down. We've talked about that. Go look at yesterday's show. We talked all about that because she is going to be indicted and she's going down, not just because of what she did to Donald Trump, which she should be disbarred for and disqualified from her AG position, but because she's trying to use taxpayer money to defend herself, a $10 million slush fund that she's trying to hand out to none other than Biden's old attorney, Hunter Biden's old attorney, Abby Lowell, but also because of this mortgage fraud investigation, which is just massive and super poetic. But anyway, you can watch yesterday's show and learn more about that. We talk about it a lot here on this show because Letitia is something else. But this is what's happening. They're going to defund these sanctuary cities. And you know what? It has to happen because I'm under the impression at this point that the only thing these people pay attention to is actually money. Okay? Money talks. So they care when suddenly they don't have any more money. Speaking of money, one way to have more of it would be to invest in gold. I hope you have. Again, another sponsor on the Great Trish Regan Show. We thank them for this. American Heart for Gold. You can call them at 1-844-495-1115 or text Trish to 65532 for up to $15,000 in free silver, or go to trishlovesgold.com today to learn more. There again, from American Heart for Gold. Go check that out, guys. Again, one of our great sponsors here on the Trish Regan Show.